Hello, Rob here from the Flanagan Homestead. A little over a week ago I made this video to show the neighbor girl how to feed my animals while I was gone. And that was the only intention for it, but then I thought some people that want to start a homestead might want to see what morning chores before you go to work look like. And so here it is.
All right, Logan, here's how I feed the animals. Thanks for helping out. As you come down around the side of my house, before you go all the way down, there is a hose spigot right here next to the green door. There is people living in our basement, by the way, so don't be surprised if you run people. I always turn the water on there first. The water is not on down there already, but it is, so you can turn it. You can now turn it on down there with the end of the nozzle. If you feed in the morning, they'll probably all be here by the barn waiting for you. If it's a little bit later, they may be spread out. It's best to bring them all in and then feed them so that one animal doesn't eat all the grain. Come on! Come on! These bungee cords need to come off. Everybody that I have helps me takes it off and then makes it super tight so you can't get through. They need to just stay where they're at. They're at a strength so you could easily push the gate open, walk on through, and it swings itself shut. The animals can't pull it open. Now this is why we turned on the water up above. We could turn it on right here. Make sure this blue trough is full every day. Right now it's full, so I don't need to do it. When you go inside the barn, I have two key buckets. The lighter colored stuff is for chickens, and I put goats and sheep on the all stock. The chickens need 3 scoops, you can give them 4 if you like, of the chicken feed. If it's really dry outside, which I don't think it's going to do this week, I just throw it out in the pasture. But if it's really wet, I want to feed them in the barn. I just flip it through the wiring in the fence and into the barn area. It's inside the barn area. I'm just flipping that right through the wire fencing, and the chickens are going to come and feed on it. Then I grab my rectangular bucket, 3 scoops of the goat sheep feed. Put it in there. Next I have this pipe that I put my grain in. I rinse this off every day. I take it around the corner, put it in there, and dump the grain in. This is where a lot of chaos ensues. I'm going to remodel my feeding area this summer so I don't have to jump over the top of the sheep and wrestle around with them. But I'm going to move the camera so you can see what's going to be happening. You're going to be wrestling animals. All start getting in your way. Don't fall off the side of the deck here. It's only 4 feet. This isn't necessarily firm ground. So the sheep try to jump up in here every time. You need to grab one by the ear and pull it down. And you just kind of find openings to get in here. Pull the sheep out of the way and feed them that. As far as the hay goes, I have more up in the loft if you need it, but you shouldn't need it. I brought enough down, and I put a stake in here. You're going to put half a bale of hay in per day. So as I cut this off, this stake is about half a bale. I'm going to pull this off and put that whole half in the feeder. I tend to grab the half bale. I'm going to give them at once, just so I make one trip. But if you don't want to be carrying it up high and getting hay in your clothes and your hat and everything else. Okay, the battery on the camera went dead earlier, but you can see I have that half a bale just spread out in the wire fence hanging on here. The animals will just pull it through the holes and eat it. At this point in time, they're done eating out of the white trough. I take this out and rinse it out every day, because if I leave it here, they kick it back to get the grain out, and then they walk on it, and it's all full of poop, and which is not good for their diet. So I take it out and rinse it out while they're eating the hay. At this point in time, you're done in with the animals. So I take my white trough, spray it off real quick, and then at this point in time, since I'm going to be leaving, I like to hose off the bottom of my boots so you're not getting in your car or whatever when you're going home. If you got a minute, I like to hose off the concrete and keep one nice clean spot in this area. If it's not raining outside, the sheep like to just lay down on this nice flat spot. If you don't clean it off, it's not the end of the world, but I like having it nice and clean to walk on and be cleaner near the water trough. At this point in time, I've got my half a bale of hay left right here for tomorrow. Another bale behind it, a few more bales there. If you want to roll back the door to the laying box, you can collect eggs. I'm going to leave this bucket on top of the laying box, and you could just fill that up right there. If you need some eggs at home, I don't know if you have chickens at home or not, if you need some eggs, take them home. It sounds like there might be some stormy, snowy days next week, and usually the wind comes in with that. This little latch right here has little knobs. Stick it through the door. Make sure that both sides hang over the edge so this doesn't blow open. If the wind starts blowing and that rattles out, then the wind just howls right through the barn. But if we keep this closed, the animals are drier. Or not drier, but less windy and warmer. If it does snow, and it's just a little bit and it's going to melt off in a few hours or by mid-afternoon, the animals can find plenty to eat out there. If it's a deep snow, if we happen to get one, feel free to put a whole bale of hay. If, for instance, Tuesday I think it might snow, and if we get a few inches and it's going to cover, just shove a whole bale in there, and then they'll have more to eat that day. And last but not least, on your way back on it, shut the water back off, because like I said, there is a leak down there, a slow leak. It's not tremendous, but I don't want it leaking all day, wasting water and making mud.
There's a quick video on what my getaway chores are before I have to leave for work. In a couple days, I'll probably post a video on what it's like sometimes to come home from vacation to your homestead and see what things are like. Thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching including horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects are my passion. Hope to see you again soon. Be blessed, everyone.